Let's talk about determining a prospect's pain. The better that you can understand an organization, arguably, the better that you can ultimately sell to a number of large organizations. And I will tell you, the better that you do a pain analysis process, exponentially your sales will go up. So here we have what we call a pain funnel. So when we first walk into a business, how are you guys doing compared to last year? How are you guys doing compared to your plan? What were your strategic priorities? Are you currently hitting those? Are you behind? Are you ahead? They'll share some level of, we'll call it, non-sensitive information for you or with you. We have to ask for a lot of details. Oh, okay, so give me an example of that. Tell me more about, can you explain that in some greater detail? So as we get these surface problems, then we get some details related to them, and then we finally start to dig into, and we ask the question to folks all the time, or we ask the question to salespeople, how many have ever had a prospect lie to them? Almost everybody in the room will always raise their hand, so this is the point. They won't necessarily lie, but they'll want to hold their cards very close to their chest, and they just won't want to tell you the whole truth. If you ask a stranger, have you ever cheated on your wife? It's more than likely they're not going to give you the right answer to that question, even if the answer is yes. So we have to get into a pain funnel where we actually get the real information from them. So we get the details out of them, ultimately with the right questions, and this is where our product knowledge and industry knowledge comes into play. We have to ask the right series of questions in order to get further down this pain funnel. But at some point, we'll finally reach the real reasons for what's going on in their business that's creating the problems. And let's say they've got 3 or 4 big reasons. So we've now taken in our notes, okay, and we reiterate to them, so you're telling me that these 4 things are the main issues in your business, is that correct? And they say yes. Then we dive into financial and personal impact. Okay, so what are these 4 things costing you? So whether this is, a few days delay, okay, well, what does a day's worth of, downtime cost you? What does a week's worth of downtime cost you? What does the inefficiency of a salesperson or an operations person cost you? There are financial impacts to every single one of these, and we've got to quantify that with these people very, very clearly. They may have never done that analysis before, and so it's our job as salespeople to help them do that analysis. And so again, this is where our industry knowledge and product knowledge comes from of, okay, well, these folks are probably making this amount of hour, money per hour. So if they're spending 35 hours doing this, let's just agree that the cost to you is X for that particular activity. We also want to understand the personal impact. If you've got a leader that their team is not meeting goals, that has a potential to be a firing reason for that person. So they could have a very serious personal impact to them, depending on what's going on in that world. So we want to quantify very clearly, okay, so let me understand, these are your 4 major issues, and let's just say, what you're telling me is we've got $2 million a year worth of problems or inefficiencies. And the personal impact to you is, obviously your bonus is dependent upon this, your job to some extent is dependent upon this, and there may be a few other things here that you want to list as well. And then we finally get to commitment. So now that we understand that here's all your pain, how committed are you to actually resolving these problems? So if we look at this from a macro scale, if I have 10 different prospects that I've just gone through this process with and have come up with 3 or 4 or 5 pain points for each, quantified and done a great job, but then come down here to commitment, if only 3 or 4 of those prospects say, we're absolutely committed to fixing that in the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and then I've got 3 or 4 more that say, yeah, we'd like to fix that, but we've got, some bigger rocks that we've got to deal with right now, and so that's going to have to be a year out. This tells me as a salesperson how to prioritize my time. Who am I going to bother to actually maybe get to a presentation stage 2 at some point here, a couple more steps down the road, and who am I not? Because if they're not committed to fixing it, then I don't want my salespeople spending time, putting together a presentation, doing the research necessary, blah, 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 all these other different things, if they're not truly committed to solving the problem. So if they say, yes, we're absolutely committed to doing something about this, you're right, this is costing us way too much money, then let's move forward.